I guess I'm going straight to the Bracilian outskirts, I guess. Ah, that's so disappointing.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Uh, Actually, I've been looking for the
I
Dalish.
find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
I will tell that to your leader
Seeing
and
as
no
you are
one else.
obviously no simple trespasser, I will leave it to the keeper to decide the importance of your business. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
Thank you. That solves the issue.
I see we have guests. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
I understand, but this one claims to have important business with our people.
I see. Tell me, stranger, what business could you possibly have with us? We have our own issues we must deal with, as you can see.
I come representing the Grey Wardens.
You might have simply said so to begin with. Masiranus, Mithra. You may return to your post.
Manuvinen, keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan. Its guide
Nice
and
to meet you.
preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
My name is Death. Pleasure to meet you.
Manners. From a Shemlin. Interesting. What might be your mission here? Have you come to spread news of the Blight? I had already sensed the corruption spreading in the south. The existence of the Blight is not news to me. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me.
Very well.
The clan came to the Bracilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's
see.
evil must be stopped. But we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
There are actual werewolves in the forest?
There was a time in Ferelden's history when werebeasts roamed the lands in great numbers. Spirits possessed animals and turned them into horrific monsters. The humans warred against and destroyed these creatures. No doubt their tales of those days grow ever more inaccurate.
Flemeth tells tales of such a time. Packs of possessed wolves akin to abominations roaming the land. It was a terrible age, now long past.
The werebeasts are not all gone from this land, and the ones that stalk the Bracilian forests are proof of this.
I see. Why did these beasts attack you?
They are savage and unrelenting. They need no reason to attack anyone. What is curious, however, is the ambush. We expect werewolves to be no more cunning than a rabid wolf. The ambush suggests a level of intelligence we've never seen before.
Is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
You're talking about a werewolf?
No, But it is the one who made these werewolves come to be. Within the Bracilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us.
I see.
I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
Have you considered seeking outside help?
From whom? The Children of the Stone? The Shemlin? Do you truly think they have time to spare for us?
You said you could perhaps destroy the curse?
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
If I help you, what will you give me?
We would assist with the blight, of course. And you would have our gratitude.
I'll find this wither thing for you. I prefer more substantial. I will find this wither thing. I prefer more substantial.
A reward, is it? Very well. We have very little of the coin your people use, but we do craft items they find valuable. Return with the heart, and I will give you something extra that I'm sure you will have no trouble selling. Good enough?
People could improve their attitude towards me.
This attitude has been burned into our souls after long years of slavery and oppression. It is not personal, but very well. I will remind my people of the danger you will undertake on our behalf.
Thank you, I appreciate it, because, you know, I've not done anything wrong. I'll find them.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Bracilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
Some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
How can I find Witherfang? Do you have any advice?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
Tell me more about this curse of hunters stuff.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So, did all werewolves everywhere stem from Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
So if a werewolf bites me, will I become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
You know if you've... How do you know if you've been infected by the curse?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable. If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
And when did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish.
I see. I wish to ask
Go
about
on,
something
then.
else. I should go.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
Thank you. Lanaya.
I'm Daranatishan, Grey Warden. My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Yeah, some are larger than the eye can
How
see.
very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
They are used to it just as humans are.
Being accustomed to pain and suffering does not make it any less tragic.
That's
It
true.
is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours?
Some of us do. Not all humans are the
see.
same.
That is difficult for our people to accept. Even if only some were in favor of what was done to us, the rest did nothing to stop it. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
What can you tell me about Zephyr?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
I really shouldn't talk about that. That's something you should ask him about yourself.
Why the Dalish? What does the keeper do exactly?
The keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
Why are the Dalish so hostile?
They have reason. Since the days of Arlathan, my people have been either subjugated or homeless.
What is this Arlathan you mentioned?
It was our ancestral home, long ago when the humans first came to these lands. We were free then, and immortal. We did not know how to deal with the humans, and in the end, they turned their power against us and destroyed Arlathan. Our ancestors were enslaved, and our culture lost forever.
But the elves were eventually freed, right? Didn't...
Yes, after a millennium of slavery, Andraste herself freed our people. She who was your maker's chosen.
But you don't worship the Maker.
We worship the creators, as we always have. We give thanks to Andraste for her part in our freedom, but we do not worship her, or her god.
Does Arlathan still exist?
Not to my knowledge. According to the old tales, the human mages sank Arlathan into the ground, crushing it beneath the rock.
Didn't Arlathan... elves were immortal then?
They died, but not of an aged body as other races do. Not until the humans came. According to the legends, association with humans caused us to quicken. Our blood sped, and we began to age. So we avoided them naturally. And then we were enslaved by them for 1,000 years. And in so doing, we all were quickened permanently and our immortality destroyed. Or so the old tales say.
I see, but you could get your lifespan back, no?
In time and with seclusion. We Dalish have lengthy lifespans, and they will get longer. Zathrian himself has lived many centuries, though that is unusual even for us.
Does Arlathan fight back?
The Tevinter Imperium was a force to be reckoned with. It was ruled by mages with powerful blood magic. Though Arlathan fought, they lost.
I can see why you resent humans.
Shemlin, we call them. Quick children. I suppose it takes a certain arrogance to look upon another people as children, no? Perhaps we should be more heedful of our own role in Arlathan's loss. Even so, it was a bitter lesson to learn. One we are not grateful for.
But I'm not responsible for what's been done to the elves.
Aren't you? You're human. And to many of them, you represent the humiliations our people have suffered for generations. You may not have been personally responsible, but such feelings are not easily overruled by logic or fairness.
Wouldn't I like them, I would change things.
Oh? That is easy to say when you are not a homeless wanderer of a broken people. It is all we can do to cling onto our past now. Perhaps this may change one day, but I believe the humans would have to take the first steps, if they are capable.
Wasn't your homeland called the Dales?
That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the Dales, eager to start their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile.
There's no way to get on your clan's good side?
It requires an individual to prove he is not the outsider we have come to expect. Your own task to help our clan is certainly a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I want to ask something
Certainly.
else. Tell me about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
I see. How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, it must have been horrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
I see. You said that the Dalish rescued you from bandits.
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
You have family you could have returned to?
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me. The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now,
see.
the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
How did you become a keeper?
I am not a keeper. I am Zathrian's first. Though because I was not born into the clan, becoming his first was very difficult. We Dalish have old traditions. The clans come from the ranks of the nobility that once ruled the Dales, you see. The keepers of those old clans have the strongest and purest blood that reaches back to the days of Arlathan. I had to compete against the other candidates for first, to be better than them in everything, simply because I was not of the old blood.
You must be proud of your accomplishments.
I am. The ceremony where Zathrian anointed me as his first was the proudest day of my life. The clan has placed great trust in me. One day, I will lead them and be the one who secures our future.
I should go.
As you wish. Darth Shirel.
Very good. Okay, so we can get a bunch of quests from different people around here, which is pretty nice, as well as a bunch of stuff. So let's start speaking to some people. Pardon me.
Hello?
Hello. There's no need to be afraid of me.
Course. I'm very sorry. It's just that we don't get many visitors. Like you, I mean. Of your kind.
The people are very insular. I don't know what that means. You never seen a human before?
Oh, of course. It's just that they don't... I mean, you don't... Oh, I should start over. I am Kamen, a hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter.
So do you want to stop wishing for it?
Never mind. Just go away and leave me alone.
Oh. I think I just
told
messed
you
up.
to leave me alone.
Tell me what your problem is.
I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand.
Try me, I might surprise
I
you.
suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me. I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of a beast I killed myself. A boar or a wolf or something. I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
I see. Who's Gaina? Girl problems, I see.
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
This is some way to solve your problem.
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
What if I got a pelt for you?
No, I couldn't do that. I must kill the beast myself. It is my rite of passage to become a full hunter.
Perhaps I could talk to Gainer for you.
I suppose you could, but what good would that do? The situation hasn't changed.
That could be pretty persuasive.
Really? I'm willing to try anything.
Depends. What's in it for me?
Could reward you? I have a book of our history written in the common tongue. The keeper wrote it and gave it to my father before he died. If nothing else, you could sell it. It must be worth something in the human lands.
Fine, I'll do it.
Sirenas. Oh, ma Sirenas. I will pray to the goddess of love that you are successful.
I mean, I'll try. I don't know how well this is going to go. But, YOLO, we're saving the game. We're moving forward from here. Thought I was a Mabari for a second. I was like, a Mabari here. Sarel.
We few wanderers greet you, Shemlin. We understand you are venturing into the haunted forest to save our brethren. I suspect your efforts may be in vain. An entire group of our hunters went into the forest to do as you intend, and they have not returned.
The keeper mentioned that.
Then you are very brave to adventure into such a place, even knowing the danger that awaits. Your courage impresses us greatly.
I must deal with the blight. If I can help you, I will.
Nothing will help us now. Least of all, the meddling of an outsider.
You are being most unkind, Cyril. Would you refuse our hunter's help simply because of the hand that offered it?
You shame me, Lethalan. I have allowed my bitterness to cloud my better judgment. Forgive me, Grey Warden. It is most difficult to forget the lessons the Shemlin have taught us. Perhaps I can yet make amends. Stay while I spin a tale for our children. And then I will tell you of the forest if you desire.
Yes, I'd like that.
Come and join us then, all of you.
Sure.
Now, what say we tell the story of the fall of the Dales? Which of you children knows that best?
I think I do.
Yes? Then come, child. Oh, don't be frightened of the outsiders. Now, where do you suppose
I really
such
need
a
some
tale
new
should
Turtle
begin?
Beaches.
When
Turtle
we
Beaches
were
orders haven't
Yes.
come. I had
Long
to
ago, our people
get a
were
refund
slaves
off
to an
Amazon
empire
and
the Shemlin
order
had built on the
from
darkest
elsewhere
magic.
because
They took
they
away
lost them in
our
transit.
history and our
And these are really
language,
hurting my
and
ears.
left us nothing. And then that empire fell. We were freed.
Because Andraste came with her army, and Shartan joined her.
Yes. Andraste, the Shemlin prophet, came out of the south and challenged the Tevinter Imperium. Our ancestor, Shartan, fought at her side. And when the rebellion came to an end, we were given a new homeland in the west, the Dales. We began to rebuild the culture and history we had lost in our years of slavery. We worshipped the creators and made the Dales our home. Perhaps you know what happened next, stranger. Do you know what happened to the Dales?
You started a war with us and lost.
We started the war, did we? And you, child, what do you believe happened to the Dales?
The Shemlin wouldn't let us be.
Indeed. They resented that we would not worship their maker. And they resented our ways because they were so different from their own. The Shemlin nations grew cold towards the Dales. They called us blasphemers and tyrants, and declared war upon us. A great crusade.
That's every human felt that way, I'm sure.
And which is worse? The actions of those who believed they were right, or the inaction of those who knew they were wrong. Oh, I am certain we played a part in our downfall. We believed that the Shemlin would not revoke their prophet's gift so lightly. We were wrong. They took our lands, forcing us to abandon our gods and live as beggars in Shemlin cities. But there were those of us who refused to abandon our ways. They emblazoned the symbols of the creators upon their flesh and vowed to keep their ancient lore alive.
That's us. That's the Dalish.
Indeed, child. We chose to wander, homeless, rather than be ruled by the Shemlin. And all our clans wander alone until the day we have a homeland once more.
Then we bring the old ways back to our people, because they have forgotten it all.
For we are the Dalish, the keepers of the lost lore.
The walkers of the lonely path.
We are the Elvenan, and never again shall we submit. And that is the tale of the Dales, stranger. Thank you for allowing us to tell it to you.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Perhaps you'll allow me to tell a story as well?
Perhaps another time. You are the guest here, and one who may yet prove of great help to our ailing hunters. Now, as I said I would, I can tell you what I know of the Bracilian forest.
I see.
Do you wish to hear it?
Yes, tell me of the forest.
Our legends say that before the Shemlin came, the Bracilian forest was a place of our ancestors that predated even our oldest homeland. The people of the Imperium came here and gave the forest its name. If they found traces of our ancestors, we cannot say. If they did, those elves were slain or enslaved. We know only that a great many battles were fought here. These trees grow upon the graves of those who fell, Shemlin and elves both.
What does that have to do with the werewolves?
So much death in one place tore the veil into the beyond. The Shemlin know the beyond as the Fade, the place of dreams and spirits. When the veil is torn, spirits pass into our world freely. The legends say that one great spirit possessed the wolf that became Witherfang, who passed its curse of rage onto men and created werewolves.
This Witherfang still has so many spirits in the forest.
The forest is said to be haunted. Spirits possess the trees, the wolves, even the bodies of the dead. They yearn for true life, you see.
There were battles in the forest? How many werewolves are there?
No one knows. When the Shemlin lived in these parts, the curse would spread anew to a few of them with each passing year. They would run off into the forest, never to be seen again. Eventually, all the Shemlin left. One assumes the werewolves survive by passing their curse to their offspring. They have had no new blood. Until now, that is.
Have the hunters become werewolves?
It is said that one or two have turned already, though the Keeper denies it. As for the rest, they will either die or turn, unless they are killed out of mercy. I would rather die than become a ravening, soulless beast. Wouldn't you?
There were battles in the forest?
Who can say what value the Imperium placed on this land? And how many elves died here, in slavery? Even the barbarians, who came to overthrow the Imperium, fought and died on this soil.
Does Witherfang still exist
So
today?
Zathrian insists. He says that Witherfang does not age, as the werewolves do. Witherfang is as much spirit as it is beast, and thus it is immortal. Perhaps it cannot even be slain. At the very least, it is old and powerful, much as Zathrian himself.
So I need to know.
One last warning. The forest is like a thing alive. It changes as it wills, closing paths behind you and opening up new ones. Too many have become lost within, unable to find their way out. Were I you, I would endeavor not to make the forest my enemy.
Thank you. I appreciate the bit of knowledge. I'm going to save the game.
I'm sorry, but I must attend to our ailing fallen.
That's understandable. Coloured inks. Codex entry. Darmisu, a dagger. Okay. Amphris.
I'm Darren, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
You've been a bit suspicious. I don't mind, I understand.
That is very generous of you. Most would assume we are unkind as a rule, and that is not the case. Especially not to a Grey Warden. But we have lost much, and it is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Bracilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
You do not seem very happy about that.
None of us are happy about this situation, and I least of all. But I shouldn't speak too much about this, especially with an outsider. I am sure you have little interest in my problems.
Please, I'd like to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Denilah and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Denilah is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Denilah is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I will seek her out in the forest.
I have an amulet made by our craftsman. It's not much, but I would be happy to give it to you in return for any news.
Very well. So that's another quest gotten. We'll grab the elf fruit while we're here as well. We've watched the way we came, I think. There's another quest over this way. Over at the camp. Elf child, elf woman. Where did the woman that guy has a crush on go? Oh. Hi, Codex.
What do you need?
Never mind. As I wasn't supposed to click on you anyway. Eldest of the son.
This should be easy enough.
Okay. Death fruit.
Right.
Palace. Oh, we got health pulses, elf flight arrows.
Yes?
What do you know of this place?
People have always spoken of dark and mysterious woods haunted by beings unseen. The Bracilian forest is one such forest. They say the veil is thin here, and spirits from the fade pass over, drifting through the trees and giving them an unnatural and sinister intelligence. It is said that if you feel you are being watched in the Bracilian forest, you are.
Okay, just move on. I didn't even mean to speak to you in the first place. My codex. Landmark 10.
Right.
If I had the dog with me right now, I could actually use that. Elf woman, Cameron. Wanted me to speak to the woman.
Please leave that be. If you have need of equipment, I am sure Master Verathorn can help you.
I'm sorry, I'll leave it alone.
Mas Cyranus,